hollow. And the best quarterbacks don't care about anything. but whether or not their team won.
The first carry now for Rob Kelly. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down.
I'd say the staff that's up in the booth watching the game, they may want to file that one away. See how fast the free safety closed to make that play? Might want to check into a throw the next time.
Here's Newton now on second down. Incomplete. Right side, the tight end Rudolph. And up to the 35 before they're able to knock him down. Those are the numbers from Rudolph from last week's game. 6 catches, 71 yards, and a touchdown.
And I get the feeling that he loves this matchup. I mean, the unit he's going against is in the bottom half of the league against the pass. He had to have circled this one on the schedule and said to himself, this should be a big game.
And he'll be brought down right around the 37. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal. Because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
That was an okay hook up there with his tight end, but unfortunately, they didn't get the kind of yards they had hoped for. That's going to bring up 3rd down.
Newton throwing again. Setting up the screen to Kelly. And the play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. It'll wind up being a loss of 2. And that'll bring up 4th down. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. Allen now on 1st down. Oh, he's going to take a shot right away. And got his man complete. That one goes for 36 yards. Sensational he was last week, over 200 yards. And the simple quote that we saw this week was, keep him in front of us. They're going to have to do that.
And when they say that, it means tackling him after the catch. Because once he makes the catch, you may catch it in front. But if you don't tackle him.
And at the 7-yard line, the catch is made. And finally, down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7. That one goes for 36 yards. A first opportunity upcoming in the red zone for the Saints. They've got it 1st and goal at the 7. To the air, Allen. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. It's Shaq Thompson here with a pick. Past the 10 to the 11-yard line, and that's where the return stops.
Brandon, this is why golfers do their best to never count a score in their head before the ball goes in the cup. This looked like a slam dunk for points on this drive, didn't it? Instead, they throw an interception, and they're going to come away empty.
The drive starts with Rob Kelly. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 11, he goes down. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
Well, you had to punt on your first drive, and on the first play of the second drive, you end up going backwards. I would dare say they need something good to happen right here, right now.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And not much here as he'll get it to the 11, maybe the 12-yard line. Only a yard on the pickup there, so it leaves them needing a conversion here on 3rd and a tough 9.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size and these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Well, for last week's performance, which was so good, he was named NFC Defensive Player of the Week. He got a lot of praise, and understandably so, from national media. Looking pretty good on that play, too.
And I love what he told us this week before the game. He talked about how much time they spend working on pass rush moves, every position, because anyone could go after the quarterback in their defense, and you can see how they've all absorbed their lessons. I know there's no magnet in the ball, but sometimes for the punt returner, after such a scramble, it sort of feels that way, doesn't it? He has it, he loses it, somehow ball finds its way back to him.
Atone for his sin, and you know he's taking a deep sigh of relief right now. He's going to rifle one deep left. He's got a man, complete. And all the way down to the 35. It's a big play there for the Saints. 47 yards. So that changes things a bit. Here's a 1st and 10 all the way down at the 35. Now Allen. He's going to rifle one deep left. And this is caught inside the 5. And they will eventually get him down, but he's inside the 5 all the way to the 3. A gain of 32 that time. So the defense blitzed. A nice job picking that up, completing the pass.
And how in sync was the quarterback in his center on that play? They saw the blitz, made the appropriate calls, got the line engaged, because now they know there are going to be extra guys coming at the quarterback, so they got their assignments down pat and kept them away from him, and he's able to step up in the pocket and fire one now for a really good strike.
Again, they'll throw without him. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
You got to give some credit. They're able to hop up in the air and bat that one away. And that's frustrating for an offensive lineman, because the only recourse is when he goes in the air to try and get some type of pop or a shove, hoping to bring his arms down.
And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. As his guys are in for 6. And the Saints have taken the early lead. Bouncing back nicely from that bad opening drive where he threw the interception. Drive number 2 leads him right down the field and into the end zone.
So obviously his confidence was never lost, and that's a good thing to see. Great quality to have, and you absolutely must maintain that as a quarterback. But I have to think that they're probably still on the script that they prepared for this game. Just the second drive, they've worked on these plays all week in practice. Put them to good use on that one.
And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. Carolina getting set to take the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means they're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play, and it'll be 2nd and 12.
That goes down as a loss against his rushing stats. But really, should he have to absorb that one? He had no chance on that play before they overwhelmed him.
Pretty much on top of him before he could take his first step. They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete.
They're bringing a lot of pressure here already in the first quarter. Already sacked him once. Now they get in there and knock another one away. You think maybe that tuck rule being gone makes defenses a lot bolder?
Yes, indeed. That time, lucky that the arm was going forward, incomplete pass. And all the way down to the 29. A big play there on the catch and run. 46 yards.
The best passing attacks in the NFL often incorporate the guys out of the backfield catching the football. And that's what we just got on that play. As a primary receiver, not always just a check down, not always a safety.
Cam fighting. He lost the football. It's out. But fortunately, a Panther was able to get on this, so Carolina keeps the ball. So it goes as a fumble, but the key thing, not a fumble loss.
Yeah, that stat's big, isn't it? I mean, I remember watching teams play. The ball might be on the ground a number of times during the game, but the other team doesn't get it. That's a huge difference in the ball game. And in this case, they were able to retain possession.
And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. The Panthers on third down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This will be a tough 3rd and 18. From the gun, here's Newton. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Obi Melifonwu. And he's going to get this one to the 23-yard line.
Well, they didn't exactly show patience there, did they? Just down a score, they come out firing right away and compound things by throwing an interception. They put their defense in a really tough spot.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
On first down, Allen. And this is incomplete.
This is a perfect example of what separates the elite quarterbacks. Has his man open, way too anxious, ends up firing it in there with way too much zip on it. The great ones, they know how to relax and put the appropriate velocity on the football.
Here's Allen. He's going to rifle one deep left. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. And that one results in 35 yards. A nice job there, Charles. They picked up the blitz, were able to complete the pass.
That had the total feel of a quarterback in control. Red blitz, got him into the right protection scheme, so he doesn't get hit back there. He's got a chance to step up with supreme confidence and deliver it downfield for a nice completion.
And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8.
The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen? Did not let him get downfield.
He's got a man. That's caught. Left sideline. And finally, down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7. A very nice pickup of 33 yards. Now a chance to make that big play really hurt. It's 1st and goal just outside the 5. Try to pound it in, Kamara. And he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. It's a gain of a yard, and it'll set up 2nd and goal.
Well, it's been the air game that's taken them down on this drive before they finally turned around and handed it off on the last play.
And now they're looking for the big boys to get him in the end zone. Couldn't do it there.
It'll be interesting to see. Offensive lines had to pass block a lot on this drive. Will they be able to revert and fire out and create some space in the run game?
Only a yard there, and that'll bring us to 3rd and goal. Defensively, I think they can smell a stop. Ball right around the 5 here brings up 3rd.
And I think what they've done is they put doubt in the minds of the offensive guys. What do we do? Because now you don't have a go-to play. Either side they pick, throwing it, running it, it won't be easy. Partner, it's decision time now. I know it's still just the 2nd quarter.
With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's Saints football to begin quarter number 2. They are, however, facing a 4th down situation. And Lutz puts this one through. And the lead moves to 10-zip. A good drive gets them inside the 5, but they could not punch it in.
And credit the defense, too. Make sure that that happens because that was the old bend but don't break approach. Made sure they contained them when they absolutely had to and forced the field goal attempt that went through.
There's Rob Kelly now as he and the offense head back out. He's been good. They've utilized him well, but they're losing here in the 2nd quarter. What might they change offensively?
I think that what you try and do is expand how you get the ball to him a little bit. Get him out in open space, maybe swing the ball to him. What's that they used to call it in the West Coast offense, the long handoff? Yeah. Serve as your running play that way, as well as continue to feed him the football. Some of these runs now may pop bigger later in the game because of the effects of running it. Sometimes people after a while, they don't want to tackle him anymore, or they get tired, or they get out of position, or he runs through tackles. Continue to feed him the ball. He's having that kind of game.
Yeah, might they get him the ball in some space in some different ways here?
Some of these play calls, I think they're a little conservative, but you know me, because it's easy to set up in this booth, right, and make all the calls and think of.
And the Saints pressure gets him. Brought down for a sack.
They were in the top 5 in sacks in the league coming into this one. That's their third one in this game. Obviously, pass rush has been a strength of this team all year long.
And apparently they're not satisfied with top 5. They want to climb that ladder.
Yeah, I think it goes back to their offseason. They decided to make it a priority, and it's working out.
Call it a 48-yard punt. Give them 9, though, on the return. Out is the Saints offense now as they get ready to take over here. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done. Fans do love the long ball, don't they? And he already found his guy once. Tried to give him another chance there, didn't he?
Now he'll be hit from behind, and he has landed on hard. Well, there was second long. Now it's third and even longer. They're going in the wrong direction here.
Because they're moving exactly the way they want to, but you're exactly right. Definitely going the wrong direction for the offensive guys.
Throwing now is Allen. He's going to rifle one deep left side. So they took a shot there on third down, couldn't get it. Now it's 4.
Well, the obvious goal is to try and score a touchdown, but at the least, adding to a pretty big yardage total for his intended receiver there, huh?
Yeah, well, when you've got a guy over 150 yards, keep chucking it deep to him, I guess.
Yeah, no doubt about it. You can get it to him short, and he can make plays that way, but I like what you just said. Throw it to him deep and get it in a big chunk.
But incomplete on that try. So Newton and the Panthers come up now 1st and 10 at the 20. They'll start on the ground with Kelly. He'll get about 3 as he's taken down at the 23.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
On second down, here's Newton. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been on constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. 3rd and long, it's Newton. And he's taken down. Back at his own 7.
I think normally we would talk about this more with basketball players and football players, but let's adopt it in this case. He's a stat sheet stuffer.
Had the interception earlier, now a sack. But he just needs a touchdown for the trifecta.
That's about all he needs, and he's going to go for it.
A 7-yard return following a punt of 45 yards. And this offense takes over in great shape right at the 50, 1st and 10. Josh Allen leads the offense out for their next possession. He's got the lead here in the second quarter. He's thrown the touchdown, but also an interception. As a quarterback, he's had interception. Under pressure here, and down he goes. Sacked back at about the 43-yard line.
My, oh my, they've had some success bringing him off the edge. How about the gambling man who's the defensive coordinator? He's not just bringing pressure. He's bringing a corner to go after the quarterback.
And it's worked twice now, twice like a charm. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. K'Wan Short in there to get him, and this pass rush strong now. That's sacks on back-to-back plays.
So when you have good field position to start a drive and you give up back-to-back sacks, that can be demoralizing for a team.
Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. To throw, it's Allen. This one complete to Christian Kirk. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. A gain of 26 on the 3rd down conversion. And now with that completion, he's north of 200 yards here in the first half.
And he's going to break our statistician Marvin, isn't he? Because Marvin right now is just tallying it up. Hope his hand doesn't hurt too much doing this.
And this is taken in at the 5. And he'll take it into the end zone for the Saints touchdown. In for the score. And the Saints add on to their lead. He's having a nice little first half here, partner.
And it's a first half that leaves us anticipating what can still come. I mean, 2 touchdowns already here through the second quarter. There could be plenty more before this game is over.
Morstead, the punter, out to kick it off. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Carolina getting set to take the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting. Defenses always talk about earning the right to rush the passer on third down, and you know what offenses want? Win first down so they can set things up for themselves better.
And that wasn't helpful there. Not a big impact on first down. And a quick throw here. That's complete. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. A pass for negative yardage, obviously no good. Maybe he shouldn't have thrown it, or maybe he shouldn't have caught it.
I think we were seeing it at the same time, weren't we? Maybe you let that one go, right? Because you can see the lost yardage about to develop.
And he's taken down here by the Saints.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
Take it at the 37. A good return there, 17 yards. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. And they'll just simply be looking to build off the confidence of the last time out where they scored a touchdown.
And confidence is powerful, isn't it? When you've scored once, you feel like you can go back out there and get it done again. Doesn't matter what the defense throws at them. They feel like they're in a groove right now, and they want to get out there and show it.
Yeah, hoping to stay in that groove here this go-around. A good pick up there, 26 yards. And with that last play, he's now up over that 300-yard mark.
And in today's NFL, it almost feels routine. And I hate that when you talk about a 300-yard passing game. To me, 300 yards still signifies excellence, and he's achieved that in this performance.
They'll give him a yard on the play, and it'll make it a 2nd down.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
Here's Allen to throw it. And he's got it. Touchdown, Saints. As his guys are in for 6. And the Saints now add 6 to their lead. So not only is that his 3rd touchdown catch of the game, he's done it here in the first half.
I'm not sure defensively what they're going to come up with to slow him down, because already we're seeing him run past, over, through guys in order to make these catches. And being able to try and shut him down at this stage of the game, it's going to take a lot of effort. So maybe it'll open things up for some other people.
Well, they better figure something out, and soon. So Newton and the Panthers come up now 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Hey, set, 180.
They'll hand it off to Kelly. So he got free of 1 tackle but couldn't do a whole lot else. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
Second and 6, just inside the 30. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to be taken down with a marker on the field. So let's see about the call.
Illegal block in the back. Offense.
So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. Again, this is Kelly. And he will make his way back to where he started from, and that's all. As we will make our way to the 2-minute warning. Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. Newton now to throw. And this one hauled in by Rudolph. The completion there winds up a wash, and it'll bring up 4th down.
They dialed up the blitz on 3rd down, and your worry as a defense that they can hit you with a big play in that situation. Instead, the blitz pays off, able to rally to the football and make the play.
Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, give him 15. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10.
Detroit!
Here's Allen on 1st and 10. Wide open receiver complete. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. And a nice gain of 21 yards. His big game continues. Already has the 3 touchdown grabs, tacking on some more yardage and a 1st down.
And how precise has his route running been in this game? We just saw him get open yet again. And he's also made adjustments as the defense has tried to really stop him.
A really nice gain of 25 yards. And with that completion, he's now north of 200 yards here in the first half. Boy, a tough start for the secondary defensively.
It is, and it's got to put a dent in their confidence. And, you know, you always want to keep that up and feel like you can always bounce back after plays. But with the kind of numbers he's putting up here, it's starting to wear on them a little bit, I think. So they're looking at each other and trying to figure out what defense will work and how can they play better without getting beat deep for big passes.
Now Allen again. And that one will fall incomplete. Clock here now just under 30 seconds to go in this first half.
Let's give this defense some credit now. They let the guys get downfield, but when push came to shove, they stood their ground. Now they're likely forcing.
And he's got him. It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. In for the score. And the Saints just continue to roll.
I heard a coach talk about those late-in-the-half scores, especially ones that give your team a pretty decent cushion. He said those could be the ones that can finish off a squad if you let them.
Yeah, they've got the cushion. This half has been theirs. Morstead, the punter, out to kick it off. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Here come the Panthers now, set to take over on offense. And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting, because 3 straight drives have ended with them punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little. Bit and maybe get simpler rather than more complex in order to try and fashion together a drive.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. So we are at halftime. All right, hang on. We'll jump over halftime. Set now to go for the 3rd quarter. The Saints have the lead and set to receive the kick. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Out come the Saints now. They'll go on offense first here to begin the 3rd quarter. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on Here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. First down, and they're going to throw without it. And completes it to Kirk over the middle. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A very solid gain of 27.
Not only have they completed a couple on this drive, but they peeled off some pretty good chunks of yardage, too.
Absolutely. Great start. 2 nice plays in the pass game. Now can they continue to feed off that? So from Panther territory now, it's 1st and 10 as they've got it to the 28-yard line. Allen. Escaping the pressure right. Looking for the end zone. So they took a shot on first down but couldn't connect.
Not too many missteps in the red zone thus far. He was going for his 5th touchdown pass. His man couldn't shake free there, but boy, you know he's going to take another shot before this one's over.
Yeah, exactly, because you know 3 is good, 4 is excellent. You get 5, that's a whale of a game. So now they'll come up on 2nd and 10, once again from the 28. Now Allen. Oh, he got position on him, and he pulls it in. And he gets it all the way down inside the 10 and mark him at the 5. 23 yards on the play. Whatever the discussions were at halftime to try to slow down this offense, it has not worked to this point.
Yeah, I have a vision right now of everything that...
And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Well, this has been a pretty sizable drive. They've had some success. Finally, the defensive coordinator found some success of his own.
I think he just simply said enough of that. Okay, they've moved the ball well. We need to force the issue from...
Under pressure again, and down he goes again. Cameron Jordan in there to get him for sack number 9 now on the year.
And it has been a good game for them. They haven't been pressured very much today, but on back-to-back sacks, maybe the defense is starting to figure something out.
His throw caught at about the 5. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. Damian Ratley, his first touchdown on the year. And the Saints are pouring it on. Lutz good on the extra point, and that will extend this big lead. Morstead, the punter, out to kick it off. This is taken at his 4. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. The Panthers offense now, they head back on the field for their first possession of the second half. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. And now whistles and a flag, and I think we got a jump here.
Neutral zone infraction, defense.
A free 5 yards as the defense jumps.
I know it's an anticipation game for them, but it's also a reaction game, and they reacted poorly on that one.
They'll go again with Kelly. And the hole closes quickly. He gets it across the 35 to the 36-yard line. 2 yards on the carry there, and it's going to lead him to 3rd down.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
From the gun on 3rd down, Newton. And the Saints pressure gets him. Brought down for a sack.
It's been a tough one all game long for this offensive line. They're already down big, and now you know they're just going to come after the quarterback in a big way, don't you?
Well, they just can't get out of their own way right now. It's created an avalanche, and an avalanche is coming right on top of it. So a change of possession here on the punt. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. And last time out, another touchdown, and I think there may be some empty seats around here by the time the fourth quarter comes around.
Yeah, I have to agree with you because this was just about decided. But you know the benefit?
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
And that's the second sack of the game, but this player, disruptive in all phases, whether he's going upfield, coming underneath, you name it. He's a big-time guy you have to block.
Now let's go. Green 39. Green 39. Detroit. Detroit.
On second down, here's Allen. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off here by Jimmy Smith. And the return will stop right around the 25.
That was a really nice interception. I think it illustrates the differences between playing man and playing zone. When you're in man, all you're focused on is the receiver in front of you. But when you're in zone, you're allowed to read the quarterback's eyes and go to the ball. That's exactly what happened on that play.
Carolina getting set to take the field. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that.
The rush defense stout on first down. Here's 2nd and 10 from the 20.
Set. 180.
They'll keep it in the hands of Kelly. And this has been a recurring theme tonight for sure. Nowhere to run. Back to the line of scrimmage, that's all. Obi Melifonwu with the tackle.
Well, he didn't make headway on that one, but he's had plenty of carries all night long. I just wonder if maybe he's a little bit tired from toting the rock that much.
Set. 180.
Throwing on third down, Newton. The open man is Smith. And he takes it down to the 10-yard line. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
Now it's Newton. And a diving grab. I think he got that, yes. And he'll take this into the end zone. Touchdown, Carolina. Torrey Smith, his first touchdown on the year.
After review of the play, the running on the field is reversed.
This is 3rd and goal. Still looking for the first points of the game. They'll come out in the pistol. Kelly to try to punch it in. No gain on the play, and what to do now on 4th and goal.
Another stop on third down, and this defense still hasn't allowed a touchdown to this point.
Fourth down, and here's Graham Gano now in the field goal unit for the Panthers. From the left hash, he'll have to cut this at a tight angle. And Gano's kick is right through. And they'll get back 3, but this remains a large deficit. I'm kind of surprised by that they kicked the field goal. I guess you get some points, but this deficit 3rd quarter, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't either. Yeah, I'm with you on that one. When you're down that much, kicking a field goal, does it feel a little bit maybe waving the white flag and just want to get out of here? Yeah, I think you got to go ahead and try and get some bigger points on the board.
Detroit! All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. So they took a shot on first down, but couldn't connect.
sure that pass was incomplete as they made an attempt to get a big one downfield. But that's okay because the second part of that is if you don't get the completion, at least you've told the defense you're trying to stretch them out a little bit, and they may have to change accordingly.
Allen will try again on second down. And his throw is going to be incomplete.
Let's face it, you can run the route tree as many times as you want, get in sync, practice it, do all those things. But once you get to game speed, it doesn't always time up quite that well. That one goes incomplete.
Allen now looks to throw. And he's got his favorite target yet again. It's complete. And he just falls short down at the 1-yard line. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
That was a nice pickup, some chunk yardage there. Some of those big yards downfield with a little bit of rack thrown in there, a little run after catch. And it came on a crossing route. I could just hear one of my friends who won 4 Super Bowls as a quarterback always said the same thing. What route does the defense hate? Crossing route. Hate it, hate it, hate it, because it's hard to change direction when they get going full speed in the other way.
No gain there, and it's going to set up 2nd and goal.
They're right there at the 1. No gain, but don't let that stop you. Line back up and keep going at them. If I'm them,
And he's got it. Touchdown, Saints. Traquan Smith, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Saints just continue to roll. On those slants, everything happens so quickly. What makes it work?
The timing between the passer and the receiver. In this case, a slant route ordinarily is probably about 3 steps before you go on the slant. In this amount of time, I think it was a 2-step deal. Boom, put his foot in the ground and got inside for the pass.
Got inside for the pass, got inside for the catch and the score. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. Carolina getting set to take the field. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point
kicker.
Exactly. You put it through the post. That's going to help him at contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him at contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that.
Toe bash.
I don't know about that.
Toe bashed it.
Super toe.
To throw on second down is Newton. And it's caught by Crabtree. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. They'll try and run for it with Kelly. No gain on the play there. A nice job defensively, and it likely forces a punt situation on 4th.
I apologize in advance, partner, but the beef eaters on the interior of this D-line, you just know they were licking their chops on 3rd and short. And yes, they were rewarded with a tasty dish, stuffing that one short of a 1st down.
Great blocking, nearly sprung him there. 28-yard return. Back out onto the field now comes the New Orleans offense. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 29.
Detroit! Detroit!
Allen again here on 2nd and 10. Oh, there's that man again. It's complete. That one goes for 36 yards. So that changes things a bit. Here's a 1st and 10 all the way down at the 35. And we're back now in Charlotte. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the fourth quarter. A very one-sided affair. Throwing on 1st down is Allen. Allen hit. He lost the football. But fortunately, the Saints were able to hold on to it, so they will indeed keep possession. So they escape, so to speak, maintaining the football. Defensively, though, opportunity missed.
It definitely was, because that's all defenses talk about. Getting the football and either advancing it the other way or just getting possession and turning it over to their offense.
This is caught inside the 15. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him. That one goes for 36 yards. They have the nice cushion. They just want to pour it on right now, still throwing the football.
And I know my background says, why do you need to do this? Just go ahead and run out the clock and get a win. But as many people pointed out to me, it's a video game, man. Go ahead and put the numbers up. Sportsmanship, not an issue.
Exercise those fingers. Allen now on 1st down. He'll be hit and taken down at the 21.
It's interesting, partner, that most defenses try and guard the 35-yard line actively because they think the way kickers are nowadays, about a 52-yard field goal, they're kind of giving up points. But you get even deeper into territory.
And he's going to go down again.
Okay, let's go back a little bit and see if my schooling comes to the front. What's that old saying? Those who forget the lessons of history are doomed to repeat them. That's the same guy who's gotten back-to-back sacks. I think a double team may be in order.
Flushed out right. And he took the contact as he was throwing it, and the ball drops incomplete.
Different pass rushes are designed for different things. Sometimes you want to keep the quarterback in the pocket. Sometimes you want him to flush. I don't know exactly how this one was designed, but they made sure they moved him to his right. He got out of the pocket. Unfortunately for him, he was hit as he tried to throw the ball, and that resulted in an incompletion.
So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the fourth.
And you know, in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Carolina getting set to take the field. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
Yeah, maybe they were coming with a blitz that time and it caused a jump.
I think if we saw it, you know that they saw it. Might have been a little discussion down there. Bad guys coming. Pick them up. Pick them up. And someone jumped.
Now that'll be tipped and intercepted. Picked up by Marcus Williams. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. That's the story of the game. They've been suffocating all game long on defense. They were suffocating there again in a big way.
And they've done it not just by out-athleting them, which is often the case, but by being able to adjust to anything they tried to throw at them and beating them to the punch each and every time. This was a defense that was well prepared.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Now the Panthers offense, they get set to come back onto the field. So Newton and the Panthers come up now 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. Coming off the pick six, it's Newton. And Rudolph has it left side. No gain there on the completion, 2nd and 10.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. Newton to throw, setting up the screen to Kelly. And some space here. And they work this well upfield across the 45. A nice gain of 21 yards.
That was a beautifully executed screen pass. Let the rushers get upfield. The blocking forms in front. Lofted it to the runner. And now, not only does he have open space in front of him, he's got an escort as well, and they pick up big yardage.
A right side catch by Crabtree. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. 17 more yards on that one as they keep the drive rolling.
To win any route, you've got to break down the defender, and that's exactly what happened here on this really nicely executed curl route.
Newton on first down. And this one caught by Max Williams. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Another big gainer that time. This one goes for 19 yards. Well, this is how you shake the thoughts of that interception on the last drive. You come out and start this one 4 for 4.
And watching him throw it around with that type of confidence reminds me of the guy I played with way back when.
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
And plays like that really hurt play calling. They had a really nice gain on the previous play, but gave about half the yardage back on the sack. Excellent pressure up front. Nowhere to go with the football. Down he goes.
He's got his man on the crossing route. It'll be a pickup of 15 as that'll lead to third down. And that's one of his advantages of a passer, is it not? With his height, setting back there in the pocket, firing it over the middle, he can really see everything clearly.
It is, and I know that other quarterbacks get it done different ways, all right? You don't have to be his height to make a great play, but what he does is he takes away having to make those slide steps in the pocket to find angles to throw the ball through. He just throws right over the top of it because he can see everything, and sometimes that saves time and gets the ball to a receiver quicker.
On third down, Kelly. No gain on the play there, and it'll bring up fourth down.
One of the things I love about this game is there's a match of wits throughout the game. Who's going to get the advantage? Who's going to catch someone off guard? I feel like the offense thought they might catch the defense off balance with that play call, but unfortunately, that didn't work for them.
And Gano's kick is right through. And they'll get back 3, but this remains a large deficit. Well, in the grand scheme of things, those 3 points likely not going to matter much, but I guess they get a little closer, a little more respectability. Yeah,
you're exactly right. They've been outplayed all game long, but like my mom used to tell me all the time before I went out, dress up a little bit, son. Make yourself respectable. And that's what they're doing here. They're just dressing up the final score. And the Saints hands team able to rein this one in. Well, fourth quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it. And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And oh, so close as he takes it all the way to the 2-yard line. Still throwing the football here, even with the big lead. Yeah, I know you and I came up in a different era, and we think about sportsmanship and all that. Other people think about fantasy points and getting their numbers. That's all they care about right now. They come out here in the eye. Throwing now is Allen. And he's got him. It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. As his guys are in for 6, and the Saints are pouring it on. So another score there, and often you talk about the 3 phases of the game. Defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it? It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a 4th phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win. They are looking strong here in the fourth quarter. Morstead, the punter, out to kick it off.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the inline. The Panthers offense here, they get ready to head back on the field. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6.
If you're a selfish player and you're throwing the ball, you're cool with the completion. Maybe not so cool with the yardage loss, though, huh?
Yeah, you went backwards on the yardage. Hey, it kind of works like a sack for the defense there.
Yeah, it's a really big play for them, right? Able to figure it out, sniff it out, and finish it off.
And he's able to get up here to the 26. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
Come on now. Great. Set. 180. Great.
To throw on 3rd down. Newton, and that is incomplete. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
Here's the Panthers punter now. He's been terrific so far. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. Pulled in at the 24, and he's out of bounds, able to take this one up to the 35. It's a 47-yard punt, but they did give up 10 on the return. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. The outcome of this one, well, we know who's going to win it. It's just all window dressing at this point. Got me thinking, what's the biggest blowout that you've been a part of as a player, broadcaster?
Well, I'm not going to go to the player part because when I think blowout...
Because you won every game as a player.
No. I think about being blown out. And no one wants to go back to those memories. But, you know, when I was calling college football, I saw a game that, you know, a team put 70. I actually saw it happen twice. A team put 70 on their opponent. And in the NFL in the 2017 season, I saw one of those changing of the guard games where a team that hadn't been very good before now was dominating and kicking around a team who had been ruling their division.
And that's when you earn your paycheck, right? As the analyst, you got to fill that time.
You've got to know what's going on out there and how it all happened.
Well, obviously, that begs the question, what game was it?
That was Seattle hosting Los Angeles, the Rams.
Yeah.
Their second meeting of the season, and the Rams turned it around from their first one and blew out the Seahawks.
4th quarter, you've got the big lead. If you're coaching, Charles, you still taking shots like that downfield?
I'd be a little more concerned with running some clock and making sure you're taking care of the lead because
pressure comes in. He's brought down. It's a Panther sack. Cameron Jordan in there to sack him, and that is 10 for him now on the year. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
And onto the field, here come the Panthers. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut him, all right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But hey, listen, there's going to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game.
And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. And a nice gain of 21 yards. One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. Time for a break. Back to finish it off on EA Sports after this. So it's Panther football as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. On 1st down, Newton. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight. unable to find anyone open.
Off play action. Newton. Oh, nearly picked. And maybe lucky there. This guy doesn't drop many defensively. Third down. That one doesn't find its target, but all in all, he's been much sharper this week. He was under 50% a week ago, and now he's up over 70%.
Well, you know it's standard for quarterbacks and receivers getting together for a little extra time each and every day in practice. I get the sense they got together for a lot of extra time this week to try and improve that passing percentage, and it's worked out quite well.
They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down.
So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the first down sticks. Don't let them get there. And they rallied and made the tackle.
Desperation time. Newton, 4th down. It's caught on the right side at Smith. And unable to break away. They stop him a few yards shy. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And the Saints are going to get it back and in great shape. So Allen's going to look to throw. Sliding out of the pocket. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
I guess they figure with a guy who is that hot downfield, who knows how to get the ball into the end zone, you throw it up and give him every opportunity, even though that one fell incomplete.
Yeah, he's already been in the end zone multiple times. Tried to target him again deep there, but unsuccessful. Flush to... That's caught inside the 20. And he takes it all the way down to the 3. A big-time play there for New Orleans. 45 yards.
In our pregame meeting, all they talked about was keeping him hemmed in and wanting him to make his throws from the pocket because they knew he was pretty dangerous if he got outside, and he just showed it right there. Pretty good arm, too.
Now Allen, and he whips that one incomplete there.
I know every offense wants to start their snaps closer to the goal line, but it's actually harder to throw the ball in those situations. You throw into that tight coverage, you see what happens. Hard to get the ball in there.
Not enough space there. Lucky maybe that it wasn't intercepted. They'll go again from the 3 here on 2nd and goal. Allen to throw once more. And this one's incomplete.
All right, Captain. It's batten down the hatches time defensively. Dodged 2 pass attempts to the end zone. Now what do you think they're going to try and dial up on 3rd and goal?
Well, knowing them and knowing what we just seen, I think they're throwing it again, don't you?
I think you have to. I think in this situation, you kind of run out of your running plays, fire another one into the end zone.
Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. I guess not content to get another 3 here late. They'll try to add 6 more as they go on 4th and goal. So they're going for it, and here's Allen. And this is incomplete. James Bradbury, he was right there to break it up. So they were really trying to put the nail in the coffin there already with this lead here in the 4th, but they didn't get it.
Guaranteed it's not going to be a fun handshake in the postgame, right? You just know that there's going to be some bad blood there. And I know if we go to the postgame press conferences, the winning coach, you know what he's going to say?
And he can't get away. Newton can't escape the pressure, and it's a safety. Things are just going from bad to worse now. It's a safety that does him in here, and that is one frustrated offensive unit.
They can't get out from under their own shadow right now. I mean, I know this is the NFL, but could you imagine a college crowd right now? Imagine what they'd be doing. They'd be chanting, "Start the bus," because they think this one is over.
Out onto the field comes New Orleans. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup? Let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, the
Panther rush too strong. They get there and take him down. Cameron Jordan in there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year. Well, they go play fake. The problem is nobody was faked out.
And when no one's faked out, what's the end result? Quarterback gets hit.
Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing 2nd and a bundle. To throw, it's Allen. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete. The pressure really ratcheting up. They get the sack on first down, then a near sack. They got to him there just as it was leaving his hand.
Yeah, they might need to change their pass protection scheme a little bit. Maybe bring another guy into the backfield to help protect the quarterback, because that was awfully close.
Here's Allen to throw it, eluding the pressure right. And this is incomplete with a clock showing just 3 seconds left.
And you just know when that play call came in, their eyes lit up, because anytime you get a chance to take a big shot downfield, that's a lot of fun, and they missed an opportunity.
And with things looking pretty good on the scoreboard, they're going to keep the offense out there and go for it here on 4th. And a timeout comes in. The whistles blow with 3 seconds remaining. So the offense takes the timeout, and they are back out and ready to rock. And how about this? 4th and long, and they're going to go for it.
Gun, gun! Gun, gun! All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Allen will look to throw for it on 4th. He's going to wind up and got his man complete.
Can you hear me, hear me, hear me, hear me, hear me, hear me now? Can you hear me, hear me, hear me, hear me, hear me, hear me now? Can you hear me,